Welcome back to another SJHL season preview on sjhl.ca and across the SJHL social media platforms. And of course, all of our season previews and coaches' conversations throughout the season are presented by Saskatchewan Construction Safety Association. And today we are pleased to be joined by the head coach and the general manager of the Ronge Ice Wolves, Kevin Kaminski. Kevin, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate it. How's it going?
Not bad. Thanks for having me. Good first day of hockey school, but the kids wore me out. I'm getting old, too old to do this stuff, man. I've been doing it since I think I was 14, teaching hockey school. So.
Yeah, usually hockey schools mean hockey season's right around the corner, and of course the SJHL season is right around the corner. And before we talk about this coming season, the 2023-2024 SJHL regular season, Kevin, let's reflect a little bit about last season for the Ronge Ice Wolves, a fifth place finish in the SJHL standings, and a really hard-fought series against the Melfort Mustangs. Unfortunately, you guys not coming out on the other side of things. But when you look back, Kevin, on last year, what do you kind of take away from it?
Well, I think we're, obviously, I think since day one, we've changed the culture. We've made big strides from the years before, and we're growing on that. But yet now it's, time to really buckle down here and, not only have a great, season, but we've got to take that onus upon ourselves and, start having. We got to do some damage in the postseason, and that's our goal here this year. I mean, we had a, tight series against Humboldt last year, Melfort, and last year, we win the first game in Melfort. And then we have a stranglehold to take the series, and we're up 2-0 going into the third, and they tie it up. They win in overtime, and then we win in overtime the third game. I guess that would have been at the JR, as a little malfunction at the junction here at the mill, and and then, like I said, then they beat us with an empty netter 3-1. We just didn't elevate our game. We kind of stayed flat, and we just didn't elevate, or we didn't take that momentum and run with it. And that's what we've got to learn to do. And I feel with the players coming back, what they've been through, and also the new kids on the block, I feel that we should be right there. Still, I think, looking for, a high-end score and maybe possibly another D. But, we've got some great pieces to the puzzle. We've got some great character players. We've got some great offense, and just great guys, on and off the ice, great leaders. So, we need to build around those guys and make it work this year.
For sure. And I know, last year was disappointing. And honestly, I was at three of the 6 games of that best of 7 series against Melfort. And you couldn't ask for a much tighter first round series between two hockey clubs, for sure. And it's unfortunate there had to be a loser. But you touched on, the returning players coming back for the Ronge Ice Wolves this year. And when you look at on paper and you see that returning group, you must be pretty happy as a head coach to see such a strong returning class come back for the 2023-2024 season.
Yeah, definitely. To kind of worked out where, we only had 4 20-year-olds, and we were in second place in the league for quite some time, and it wasn't a lack of trying and get maybe a couple more 20-year-olds, one on the point, and then one on up front, kind of a pure natural goal scorer. What I was looking for, but things just didn't work out, in the trade, category. So we just, we thought, this is a young group, and this should pay off dividends here this coming year. Like you said, we played some very good hockey throughout the season and in playoffs. Like you said, we just We didn't take the bull by the horns and really get after it and have we left too much meat on the bone here, and Melfort took advantage of not being hungry enough.
For sure. How was the off season for yourself and Kyle Schneider on the recruitment front? I saw you guys out and about in BC and all over the country when it comes to recruiting. How was that when it came to filling out your roster for this season?
Well, I think it's been pretty good. I mean, the KIPIV have been very good to us. Where we've recruited quite a bit, and we've got some guys coming in from there. A couple States kids. We got a couple in from Vegas from the showcase that I went. Langley. So I mean, like I said, it's a busy summer right after the season. You're traveling and recruiting, and but that's what it's all about. And I just feel that with the guys that we've added, I feel again we should be right up there with the best and be a contender again this year.
So I got to ask, when you look on paper, obviously there's a lot of things still to be determined. Training camp, preseason games, a bit of the start of the season. But right now, for you, Kevin, when you look at this team on paper, where do you think the strength of the Ronge Ice Wolves is right now?
I think we have strength in every area. Obviously, I think Topher Chirico, who kind of, took over a little bit number one spot last year when Smitty was struggling, but Smitty obviously got his game back and, got his Div 1 scholarship with Western Michigan. So, hats off to him. Hats off to, Kyle Sefton, our goalie coach, and then also the guys in front of him as well. And it's well deserved. But I think Topher, he had a very, I think there was one game early on, I think at Warman, where, we played Humboldt and it didn't, just everything seemed to go in. But you take away that game and he's right up there contending in the top five. So I tell you what, this kid, I've never seen the compete level so high on someone. He has that want and will to win, and he's focused, and I know he's looking for this opportunity to be the number one here in the Ronge, and we're excited to have him back as well.
For sure. I mean, you've kind of already alluded to it when it comes to the expectations for this La Ronge Ice Wolves hockey club this coming season, and that's to take that next step and do some damage in the playoffs. But, finally, Kevin, one thing I want to touch on with you is obviously how difficult your guys' division is. Obviously, last year, all four teams made the SJHL postseason, and how much of a battle it's going to be once again this year in the Sherwood division.
I think it's even going to be better. Tad did a great job in Nipawin, and he's full time at the helm here. He's going to do a even better job. Regs as always has unbelievable teams, and Blevs and Melfort too. I mean, it's our division is. I was talking about this last night to someone about how crazy our division is and how strong and the grind and the toughness that it goes into playing, each other 6 times. And, those are 4-point night games every night. And, but that's the fun part of it. I mean, that's where you got to accept that challenge, every night, wherever you're going, not only in our division, but, everywhere else. And then you've got to demand those winning ways. And you got to find ways to win, whether it's goaltending, whether it's stingy D first, or whether it's some great offense as well. And, like I said, great teams find ways to win day in and day out. And you look at Battleford, there were some very, very good hockey clubs in our league. And I think they lost only 5 games. And so they, that's the leadership, the character, goaltending, defense, Offensively, they were a big threat, but they found ways to win, whether they were down, or up, and they just kept the foot on the gas, and that's what we want to strive to do this year here in the Ronge.
Well, no matter what, it sounds like it's going to be another exciting season of Ice Wolves hockey up in La Ronge. Kevin, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it. And best of luck in the 2023-2024 SJHL regular season.
Thank you, Jeromy, and we'll see you around.